everybody, this is Arliss ASMR back with another video. So today, I'm eating Burger King. So you guys wanted me to eat Burger King like 2 weeks ago. But your boy, I finally got myself to do it. So, what on earth? They gave me, is that honey? What is that? Alright, Burger King, you need to step up your game. They gave me some they just handed me a bundle of, like, I guess ketchup packets, but one of them's either busted or it's really sticky, like there's honey on there or some shit. Got a burger. Yeah, so, you guys wanted some Burger King. I delivered. Okay. Today, I thought I'd talk about Noragami. And I normally feel better when it's closer because I feel like you guys are actually getting eating sounds. So, Noragami. I explained it in my previous video, or I briefly talked about it. But for all my anime fans, you know what? I think for this video, I'm going to do a soft spoken. I just switched up midway. For all my fans who like my anime reviews, just so you know, I will be spoiling the entire plot of this entire anime I'm about to explain. So, a friend of mine introduced me into this because he said, bro, we're part of a big Discord community. So he's like, when it's just you and me and we're bored, we're gonna need like an anime that we both like. I said, you know what? I bet. So he introduced me into Noragami. And I know he's watching this right now. So, I'm gonna let you guys see the fries. So, Noragami is basically, so in the world, I have to do some world building, otherwise you don't really understand. In Noragami, gods exist as a part of the wishes that humans have. So, if you wish for someone to die, that creates someone like a god of war. When you wish to do well on your exams, there's a god of learning. Okay, and the more recognition that god has by having a shrine and things like that, well, when I say things like that, shrine, people, you know how like in Japan, they go and they pray at the shrine, that kind of stuff. So that makes them more powerful and a more recognized god, which in turn makes them really strong. And as a god, one of the main things you're supposed to do is sort of keep the balance of the universe. Well, the battle of the mortal realm. How they do that is they fight things called phantoms. And phantoms are basically like demons, basically. There's a better way to explain it, but they're basically demons, right? And the gods use these spirits. So if you're a regular human, right, and you die, then a god in Noragami, they can take your. Oh, and by the way, I got my Oreo shake. Oh, by the way, before I actually, well, I mean, I get into this, but hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. Yesterday was really busy for me, which was Thanksgiving. I'm recording this Friday night. Make sure you get your shopping in for Christmas, all your kids and stuff. You know, but also, hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. Let me know what your Thanksgiving was like in the comments section below. I'm so scatterbrained. I'm sorry. Like, I have so many plans, and I get talking to you guys, and I'm like, I'm whispering again. And I get talking to you guys, and I'm like, where did all my plans go? I had this, and then sometimes I feel like I need to write a script. But I get so excited. I feel like I need a script. But then I'm like, that makes me feel robotic. You guys don't like that either. You guys don't like it when I'm reading from scripts. You guys like it when I'm chaotic. Somehow my chaotic ASMR brings you guys relaxation. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, I'm glad. So, back to Noragami. When you die as a human, your soul gets kind of like lost, essentially. And well, I don't know if you like die of natural causes, if this happens to you. Maybe that friend's probably yelling at me, this happened in the show, were you paying attention? This happened in the show, were you paying attention? But so basically what happens is you're a god. They do this whole long speech, and it turns them into a regalia, which is basically like, you can kind of think, if you've ever seen the anime like Soul Eater, how some people are meisters and some people are weapons. You can think of the gods as the meisters, and the humans, after they die, become their weapons. And there's this relationship. Kind of feels like a inverse relationship, not inverse, but between gods and regalia. It's really important for the regalia to not have emotional turmoil, because that is what in turn hurts gods. It stings the back of their neck, and if it's bad enough, it actually causes like a blight infection. So yeah, it causes a like a blight infection, which can kill the god. And when a regalia is going under that much turmoil, they themselves can turn into phantoms. So what happens in the show in season 1, well, I said this is going to be like a season 1 type thing. I'm going to spoil basically the entire show, a whole anime review, because I would have done a season 1 a couple videos ago, but I realized I wanted this to be paired with a Burger King video, and I have some other videos lined up that I want to do. Someone requested that I eat the good burger from Arby's. I think it's a pretty good idea. So the person who requested that, watch out. It might be a few videos from now, but I have it on my list. So you don't have to wait too long. Anyways, So, season 1 is the first episode, which is really hilarious. His Regalia quits because he's like, "You're just a nothing." She's like, You're a nothing god." He wears like a tracksuit, and he has like a scarf that's like really raggedy around his neck. And she's like, "You wear a raggedy scarf around your neck?" "You wear a raggedy scarf?" Like you have no recognition. You don't even have a shrine. And so she quits. And for the first few episodes, he's looking for Regalia. And he meets this chick, this high schooler named Hiyori. 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 And she becomes, honestly, the single most important character in that anime. I have not seen, in the longest time that I've been watching anime. Now, I'm not like an avid, I do watch anime a lot, but I'm not a constant binger of anime. I'm not always watching a new anime. My fans, those of you that watch anime, which I would say is a fair amount of you, considering whenever I do one of these videos, all of you guys comment. No, but literally though, you have people, they're always on a new anime talking about it. I'm more of a casual enjoyer, although I really do like it, and I've seen not quite a few, but I have seen a few animes. So, but Hiyori, I mainly watch shonens, just to give you guys an idea, if you didn't know that already, if you didn't think about that already. All the anime I like, anyways. But no, so basically, Hiyori, she's like, in all of season 1, she keeps doing these things. So for instance, after he quits, I'm gonna skip a bunch of details, because otherwise this video, I'm planning on making it about anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes long. It would be over an hour long if I really went into this in depth. So that, I know you guys would like that, but my phone only has so much space. Like, your boy needs to upgrade. Anyways, so in the first season, there's this thing that happens. He gets a new Regalia, right? It's this kid, I forget his name, but he doesn't know how he died. Okay, he's not entirely certain, but he's like a high school age kid, and he starts seeing everyone live the life he wished he could, because he has to be attached to this no-name god, and he has to basically sleep in these other gods' shrines. They eat crappy food. They sift through garbage, guys. They literally sift through garbage, and so for food and things like that. So he gets kind of sick and tired of it. He starts going through a lot of emotional turmoil. Now, when this starts happening to a god, normally, sorry, I had to see that. But normally, any other god would just cast the person aside, either banish them or relinquish them from, relinquish their name, essentially. Because every time, I forgot to mention this, but every time a god makes that particular spirit their Regalia, they have to give them a name, a human name, a weapon name, and there's 3 names that they get. So there's like their human name, a weapon name, and then the name that they use to call on them Um, or is it just 2 names? No, I'm pretty sure there's 3. Anyways, someone who knows what I'm talking about, but they get like, is his name Yuri? Yeah, no, that's it. Because his casual human name is Yuri, and then he has Yuri Kine, and then his weapon name is Seki. That's what it is. So, yeah, they have like 3 names. They're always given 3 names. Now, that's what normally happens when they, you know. So normally, that's what happens, right? Is that they get banished or whatever. Well, what's so great about Yuri is he has like, he's very uniquely strong as a Regalia, and he's the strongest Regalia that Yato. Oh, I didn't even say. I'm so bad at anime reviews. I'm sorry, guys. The main guy's name is Yatogami. Yato, who's the main guy. See, I'm scatterbrained. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to you if you have to put my videos on 0.75 speed. You have to slow it down to be able to hear me. Anyways, so yeah, he notices that he has this very unique, like, skill set. He's very strong for a Regalia that's that new, and so he doesn't want to give him up. So he tries to help him learn a lesson, but he endures all the pain that he's causing him through his emotional turmoil, because gods feel the pain from. So anytime he has an inappropriate thought, and being an anime, you know what kind of inappropriate thoughts I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Anytime he thinks of something inappropriate or anything that goes against his morals that he knew that he had as a human, then he essentially, that stings Yato and gives God's blight and things like that. So in season 1, there's this huge moment where Yuri has to essentially save his freaking life because, like, not Yuri, Hiyori has to save Yato's life because Yuri, which is the Regalia, basically is going through his own, like, you know, teenage, you know, I'm just a kid and life is not fair. Or life is a nightmare, whatever it's called. Please tell me you guys know that reference. If you've please tell me you've listened to Simple Plan, otherwise that's just really awkward. Anyways, so Hiri saves Yato's life because Yato said, man, there's so many moving parts to this. Basically, there's this other god that doesn't like him. This god doesn't like him because he killed a bunch of her Regalias a long time ago. And I'm talking about the big moments because the small moments aren't coming to my mind right now. But did the same thing with Jobless Reincarnation, and you guys liked it, so I think you'll like this one too. Anyway, but there's another god who, I can't remember her name. She doesn't like this guy because of that whole thing that happened those many years ago. That one of her regalias goes to help Yato, because Yato's about to die, and everyone, and at this point in the show, you're like, he's my man. I don't want him to die. So you don't want the man to die, right? So you're gonna go, and so he goes there, helps him, and they have to have 3 regalias to do what's called an ablution on Yuri, because he's becoming corrupted through his own emotional turmoil, is the best way to describe it. And he's causing so much pain to Yato that Yato is just incapacitated on the ground. That's the first major thing that happens in season 1. But throughout season 1, you see this chick. She pops up she just pops up around everywhere, stalking Yato. And for the whole season, you're like, who is this chick? And the whole thing about her, she has a bunch of markings on her arm. So every time, I said that you have to get your name, they name you to become a regalia. Well, every time that happens, you get a marking either on your hand or like on your neck. It's like, it seems arbitrary where it's placed, but whenever that happens, is like a god has named you, and then you become that god's weapon, essentially, right? Well, before you're supposed to release regalias from your name, because otherwise what happens is they become Noras, and Noras are basically regalias that serve multiple masters, and it's seen as like a taboo, like you're not supposed to use a Nora. God's using Noras, it happens, but it's like, ooh, like you're just supposed to look at it funny, like, ooh, why are you doing that? Ooh, gross. So this Nora got into Yuri's head. That's what kind of sent him down that path. But then the Nora and this other guy who's a god of war or god of calamity. He was buddy with Yato back in the day, and he's trying to get Yato to give him a really good fight. His only motivation is he wants to see the cold, it's like the cold dead eyes of Yato, show me your former strength and all this crap. Oh, this would have been good to mention in the beginning of the review. So gods, hopefully you're still watching. If you're still watching, thank you very much. But gods, essentially, they need recognition in order to stay alive. If no one remembers a god's name, the god dies. So they just poof out of existence. So Yato has been able to survive all this long because he does like a bunch of odd jobs and stuff. Not that that's very relevant for what I'm talking about right now, but that's the general idea. And he's not as strong as he was way back, or not that he's maybe wasn't as strong, but he's not been a very particularly strong god. He is strong, but in terms of like recognition, everyone's always like, huh, what? So he fights this dude. I forgot his name, but he's basically the final boss of season 1. And is that a season 1 thing that happens? No, that's a season 2 thing that happens. Yeah. Okay. I'm not wrong on that. Yeah, I'm not wrong on that. No. But yeah. So he defeats this main guy. Because his whole he was with Nora trying to, you know, drum up trouble, basically. So he finishes him off, and that's the end of season 1. There's a bunch of stuff that happens in between there, but like I'm already at 27 minutes, and literally, I don't know why this is taking so long, but basically, so what happens is, that's the end of season 1, right? Everyone's super happy and all that. Well, basically, I can't remember the beginning of season 2, but what ends up happening is the god that hates Yato's guts for killing all of her regalia way back when, the god that hates Yato's guts from killing all the regalia back then is undergoing a specific situation where, so there's another conspirator who's basically trying to use Yato as a way. I'm just explaining the plot because this is going to be easier to explain the events. If I work the other way, it's going to take me longer. So he's trying to use Yato as a way, because they have this conflict, they hate each other, right? One of this other guy, I forget her name. I forget her name, but she's one of the main antagonists. She hates his guts, right? One of her regalias essentially is trying to overthrow her to get her to reincarnate so he can become her second in command, because there's this other dude who's second in command that he doesn't like him, but he mainly wants to become second in command, so then that way he just has, you know, basically more power. He'll feel like he'll be able to help more, and she's gotten real soft, because whenever they had that situation years ago with Yato and killing all of her regalias, she ran her thing like a family. She built a huge family, called it a clan, you know, gave all these people like names that end in the same little, I guess, I don't know what you'd call it, well, you wouldn't call it a suffix, but they all end in the same 2 letters, and so you're like, you know, Kazuma or this, whatever, right? And Kazuma is the guy who, is it his name Kazuma? I think so. Anyways, he really revered Yato, because way back when, there was someone when you have too many regalias, it's hard to narrow down who's making you give that, who's having that emotional turmoil that's making you blight, right? So what happened way back when is they all started fighting each other, because they're like, you're making her hurt, you're making her hurt, you're making her hurt, because no one wants to get banished or relieved of duty, essentially. Like, you either get banished or you just have to like get exiled, essentially, from that particular god. And so, since no one wants that to happen, or they just start fighting amongst each other, and then they start killing each other, and all of that makes them turn into this giant phantom. And it would have killed this god that I can't remember the name of for the life of me. It would have killed her if not for Yato going in and killing all of their regalias. So he really did her a favor, and then that's what spawned all of, because when you're in that state, there's not a lot that you can really like when you're under so much pain, and this is something I could relate to. You don't really know what's going on in your surroundings. Like, you're not really paying attention to your surroundings that much when you're in immense pain. So, you're really just in your own head, and that's what I imagine she was at. So Yato kills all of her regalia. You learn this in season 2, and then you learn the reason why. It's because he, eventually, he told him years ago, which is what made, and he also helped Yuri with his situation, because you need those 3 regalias. He was one of the regalias that helped with his abolition. So he's a good guy. And so basically what happens is, this is so much, I'm missing so many details. I need to start writing stuff down, because like, at least if I can go by bullet points, because if you guys like this, let me know, give me your feedback. But when I start talking about it, I'm like, oh, I missed that detail, I missed that detail. These could be hours long. Let me know. Not hours. I can make them all like an hour long. So, basically, what happens is, they get into a big fight, because she's like, you're here to kill all my regalia again. I'm like, oh my god. And basically they figure out that whole plot about one of her regalias trying to overthrow her, which I can't remember his name either. He looks like Jiraiya from Naruto, but black. But anyways, so he gets exiled. They end up losing a lot of their regalias, but they end up thinking that it's Yato's fault, but it really isn't Yato's fault, because it's that other guy's fault, because Yato gets framed for it, because one of so his regalia ends up hanging out with one of this other god's regalias, and so it's pinned. When that regalia goes missing, like, they start investigating into it, but it somehow gets pinned on Yato and his regalia, and so there's this whole outburst that happens. And I'm gonna skip a whole bunch of details, because it's not that it doesn't matter, it's just more like I would be trying to iron out all the specifics for another 15 minutes, because I know myself. Long story short, it's a good anime, you should go watch it. But Hiyori, I don't know why I can't say her name very well. She ends up saving their butt like 4 different times. Oh, because also she builds them a shrine, which makes Yato cry, because like, he wanted a shrine since he was a little kid. And shrines are how those gods, that's how they access heaven. That's how their regalias access heaven. And then they can colloquies, they start attending these things called like colloquies or whatever, where they basically have like god meetings type of thing. And only gods with shrines get to visit those, because it's basically heaven. That would be really loud. That would have been really loud, and I didn't want you guys to hear that. But that's the anime that I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna have to remember to cut that out. Okay, so that's the anime I wanted to talk about, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I still recommend, I would say, in my heart of hearts, I give it like a 7.5, 8. I really did like it. There were a few things about it that I really didn't care for because it started to get a little played out. I love the overall theme and the fighting and the message and all of that is epic, but there's just like a few moments I really don't care for that kill it for me. Well, not kill it. That would make it sound like it's bad. Like, I understand why they do that. It's a good anime and it's really funny, and the fan service is tasteful. I don't know if you guys care about fan service, but it's tasteful and like not in your face. It's not like a Seven Deadly Sins thing. If you know, you know. But I would still say I'd recommend checking it out. But yeah, let me know if any animes you guys want me to watch in the comments. I am watching the ones that you guys have requested, but I'm watching them slowly. I got hooked on Spy X Family because I wanted like a third anime on my roster to cycle through, because I'll get bored of anime if I watch the same one over and over. So I'm cycling through animes right now, and probably by next week's video I'll probably be done with either Radiant or Psychopaths, but I'm not sold on Psychopaths, just to the person who recommended it. I'm gonna watch a few more episodes, but when I do a video about it, I'll either tell you why I watched season 1 or why I didn't. But I gotta give it at least 3 episodes. I have a 3-episode rule with every TV show. If it sells me within the first 3 episodes of watching it, I'll watch the whole. Like, if it sells me, I'll watch the whole season. Even if midway through the season I'm not liking it, I gotta watch it. If on the third, I do that with every anime, except ReZero, because bump ReZero. But that's a beef I have. That's a story for another time. That's a beef I have with a friend. And when you guys, by the way, guys, really quickly, if you guys recommend me an anime, and just don't recommend me One Piece. I've gotten 17 billion million One Piece requests. If you recommend me One Piece, look, I'll watch One Piece, and I might do arc reviews somewhere down the line with more viewers, but I'm not gonna do One Piece when I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to take that such of an undertaking of an anime. I want to watch like a shonen, something short, 12 to 24 episode season. You know, maybe if it has 5 seasons, I'll watch first season and then tell you what I think about it. But, you know, just you know, slow your roll. I don't want to watch 400 episodes just to get the first arc of an anime. You know what I mean? I know One Piece isn't that, like, you know, their arcs are probably like 100 episode arcs, like probably like DBZ is what I'm assuming. I also want to do a DBZ video because I'm gonna do a full length. I should do like an actual DBZ review, because I was thinking about it the other day. They did some stuff that I didn't really like. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the channel. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is a little bit of a longer one, so I'm hoping you guys enjoy it. I'm going to try to keep coming out with some content, but go ahead and follow all my socials in the description. If you want to support the channel, support me, you can always become a channel member, but if you don't want to, don't worry about it. It's just there for, and I also have a PayPal, so you can do that, or a channel membership if you want to contribute and support it all. Just letting you know that's always in the description. But let me know any suggestions, how your Thanksgiving went, all that stuff. Leave it in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.